Bocce 2007 back at you with another one. So Barbie is just a feminist romp. That's the word coming back from everyone who's seen it, but more importantly, it's the word coming from all the people in the movie and the people who made the movie. Initially, Mattel and its partner for creating the film, Warner Brothers, did a good job of presenting the movie as something that might just be entertaining for all, that wasn't necessarily, while female focus, wasn't necessarily going to be particularly feministic in its presentation, or kind of some kind of just gynocentrist, anti-male piece of work. But ever since, starting with about a week and a half ago, once the cast was really out there doing interviews, starting with Kate McKinnon from, not what is it called? What's the one on Saturday Night Live, who was also in Girl Ghostbusters, which was another movie that really started the kind of modern era of uh, men are idiots. Let's portray them as complete morons on screen. Men do nothing. Women do all and everything. And if men have a problem with it, or anybody in the audience has a problem with it, call them misogynistic man babies. They really pioneered kind of the modern push for that. And she was a part of that in that movie. And she was the first one to let the cat out of the bag for Barbie about a week and a half ago. And ever since then, the rest of them have been going in. So this is the director here. And of course, that's Margot Robbie, the star of the movie and one of the producers as well, who brought it to film. And they kept talking about this Greta lady. And when they kept saying that, I was like, Greta, is that the girl from the meme? I thought they were talking about her, because her name is Greta too. And she's one of those super dopey snowflake feminist types.
I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
How dare you? Looks like a Greta, her? But no, it's this Greta Gerwin. I've never heard her before. Don't care to hear her before after I've seen what her work is like now. We got the skinny on what she's bringing to film, and just by looking at her, even she's a big, tall, husky woman. She looks like a feminist, and we can just see all these headlines from people, and including Greta herself and Margot Robbie discuss Barbie's surprising feminism. Of course, it's not surprising, but I had some hope that maybe it was going to go beyond this kind of reductive, obvious feminism, obvious women on top, fight the patriarchy, being preached to movie. And it turns out, nope, that's exactly what it's going to be. So even, I know what I wanted to point out first. I wanted to talk about why I was really open to giving Barbie a chance, and this review is a part of that. But before I get to that, could you take a moment to like and subscribe? Subscribing is free. I'd really appreciate it if you help with liking this video up. And we're going to get right back to the program. So I had watched this review of the trailer back when, and I kind of like what this reviewer was saying, and looking at some aspects of it. But let's just take a little talk real quick.
And today we are reacting to the new Barbie trailer. It's the first full trailer, and I'm actually really excited for this movie because I loved the teaser. I thought the teaser was so creative, so cool. I love the visuals. It looks like just a really fun movie in an atmosphere where a lot of movies right now are so drab and color scheme and not very fun. It seems like we're finally getting this one film that isn't afraid to be campy, and I'm really excited about it. So I really, really, really want this movie to be good.
And so, and she was kind of making some points like the way Barbie floats down off the Barbie house, right? Which makes sense because the Barbie houses weren't made with stairs, because if you were playing with the actual Barbie doll in this Barbie house, if you had sisters, if you had these in your house growing up, and you've had kids since then who have these, you pick up the Barbie doll from the top of the house and you just carry it to the different floors, and you carry her out of the house and put her into the Barbie car. And so it's kind of like the invisible hand when you see Margot Robbie floating down from the roof of the open front Barbie house, which is kind of like a campy, real life representation of what the actual Barbie doll is. And so I thought that was interesting. And the scene where she initially she steps out of the high heel and her foot is still shaped like a high heel, which is again real to the kind of Barbie action figure, a Barbie doll, which is what it really is. Kind of true to that. And I'm kind of thinking about watching Mario this past spring and how true to um, the games the Mario movie was, and to me the Barbie doll or Barbie movie should be true to that as well. And I kind of felt like, okay, maybe this is just going to be kind of a campy movie. It's not something I'm going to go and plan to watch per se, but if somebody a young lady who I'm hanging with, whatever, wanted to go see it, I'd at least be open to it. I'd go and check it out, and maybe it still could be fun for all audiences. Well, again, now the makers of the movie have completely dispelled that for us, and so has everyone who's been to see it. Again, we can see all of the headlines. Barbie, how Margot Robbie filmed that high heel scene. No, we don't need to see. Okay, the politics of reclaiming Barbie and Barbie aesthetics, but all these ones, the feminist makeover of Barbie, so they're making her over to being a feminist. Barbie movie now at risk of bombing after cast spills the beans on how woke it is, so on and so forth. The super feminist, the Barbie movie is shaping up terribly. All right, so and I wanted to cover Grace Randolph and her exclamation, her views on the Barbie movie, because if you look back, let me see if I can find it. Okay, here it is. I reviewed her view of the Mario movie. And you can see here, I put on the thumbnail that I felt like she was being a joyless hack about it, because she went to the pre-screener of Mario before it came out with a bunch of other industry critics. And she was talking about how there were 30-something people in the room, I think, and only two of them were enjoying themselves, and the rest of them pretty much hated it. And she was saying it's not just bad, it's so bad. Well, of course, she is wrong, and we have to take her opinion with more than a grain of salt. If she doesn't like it, then we probably know that it's something we will like. And if she does like it, we probably know it's something that we won't like, because apparently she doesn't like movies that are, specific to enjoying one's childhood or that has a hero's journey. She wants some kind of, I guess, reductive film that is for modern audiences. She's one of the modern audiences type of people, apparently. So let's hear what she has to say about Barbie.
As this very movie discusses, it is difficult, unfortunately, to strike just the right tone when it comes to feminism. It's to borrow another metaphor, it's a minefield. And so I was concerned that this movie would be too preachy and it would start a new front on the current culture war that we all find ourselves in. So now that I've seen it, what's the answer? Well, no and yes. So the film...
No and yes. It's too preachy, but it's not too preachy. So it's preachy. That's a yes. There's no no's and yeses. That means yes.
Is message heavy, but I don't mind because I love the message. I think that Greta Gerwig strikes the perfect tone when it comes to discussing feminism. Of course, the film is still fun, full of energy, and a hilarious comedy for sure. But first and foremost, it's a message movie. Remember how the other day
So just remember, he's just spilling the beans. Oh man, it's a message movie. Is it message heavy? Yes, but I love the message. Unmarried middle-aged feminist loves the message of this feminist movie. Even this whole segment, if you look on the screen where I'm scrolling, is called Message Heavy. She's going to say in a minute that it's not preachy, but it's got a whole icon that she put into this. This is her video. She put an icon in here saying preach, because she loves the message being preached. Let's listen to some more.
I told you I suspected that this might be an awards film masquerading as a summer blockbuster movie. Bullseye! That's exactly what's going on. Not that it can't still make big bucks, but it's more, it's more of an awards film than it is a big summer blockbuster. So I don't think Barbie is preachy at all. The film said everything I wanted it to say and even added a lot to the conversation that I had not thought of or had not figured out how to put into words. So all that was great. But
as you plot...
Hold on a sec.
This movie is going to certainly be a lightning rod with certain groups. Anyone who has a problem with representation or feminism, for example, cringes every time fridging gets mentioned, and unfortunately we have to bring fridging up a lot. They just...
What is fridging? I guess I could go look it up, but I don't care enough to even bother. But okay, let's move forward, because I got another point that I want to hit on. Okay, what does she say about guys like in the movie? All right, let's get to that part.
All right, then how about guys? Can guys enjoy Barbie? Is Barbie a movie for men? Well, I think it depends on what type of guy you are. If you have a lot of women in your life who you love and respect, for instance, if you're a girl dad, you'll probably love this movie too.
So if you have daughters, you should love the reductiveness of feminism and the nonsensical way that Hollywood portrays men as dolts and idiots. And we can see how Ryan Gosling is portrayed just as kind of the airhead doofus dude who's the tag along for Barbie. If you have daughters, then you should be okay with the reductive nature and go to a movie that smashes against the patriarchy and tells you you're an idiot and you hate women if you don't bow to women and put them all on a pedestal. And if you assert your competence as a man, that's toxic masculinity. But because you shot sperm into a woman's womb and it produced a daughter, you're okay with that, or you should be. And if not, the virtue signaling here is there's something wrong with you as a man.
And also, I think if you're self-confident, John Cena has a cameo in this movie, and I think John Cena would not have a problem at all with this film, even if he wasn't in it. I think he would be like...
Again, listen to the shaming. If you don't like Hollywood's feminist tripe, then you're not a confident man. AKA, that's feminist way of saying, that's kind of the more diplomatic feminist way of saying you're not a real man, which of course we know is the way that in which women try to shame men into comporting to what feminists and the gynocentrist wants for this gynocentric society. So that's what we hear about Barbie. Now let's take a listen to what the same person thinks about Oppenheimer in comparison. Again, you can go to my video and I'll try to attach if at the end of the video, if it allows me to attach a playlist. Sometimes when you go in there it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'll put my playlist up around some of these things. But anyway, let's take a look at what she has to say about Oppenheimer as opposed to what she thinks about Barbie. And I already showed you that I have a video that you can go look at about how she thinks about Mario and is against a movie that's about a hero's journey and develops that sort of thing. So let's see how Oppenheimer rates versus Barbie, which she loves.
I want you to know that I went into Oppenheimer very excited. I was so excited, not just because of the Barbenheimer hype. I was like, I'm doing it. I saw them back to back on Monday and then Tuesday. But also because Universal was letting us see it on a proper IMAX, the IMAX, AMC Lincoln Square, the greatest IMAX in the world. So I was going to see it as Christopher Nolan intended it. And also, I had thought the trailers were very exciting, and I love history. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So imagine...
She loves history, but we're going to see what she doesn't love.
My disappointment when, forget not meeting my expectations, I'd actually say this is not a good movie. All right, headlines. What kind of Nolan fan am I? A lot of you were asking me this yesterday when I tweeted that I didn't like the film. You were like...
I want to fast forward a little bit because this video has gotten long. So let's see I can get to the part about Nolan movies that really let's get to the part about the one Nolan movie that matters the most, which is I can't think of the name of it right now.
Advanced math. That's another thing that might be a little bit tough about titles. I understood everything that was said in this movie. Well, I heard what they were saying. If you're not into physics and advanced math, that's another thing that might be a little bit tough about this movie. Like, I not only don't get physics, I'm not interested in getting physics. So
So she doesn't want to get physics. She's not interested in physics. What she's interested in is feminism. Look, I'm not into physics and advanced math per se, but to watch a movie that presents some information that is germane to the movie and has an intellectual bent or causes you to have to do some thinking other than thinking about reductive gender studies, feminist ideology, the notion that that detracts from a film is insane. So she doesn't like Interstellar either. I'm not Interstellar, but oh yeah, that's the one. She didn't like Interstellar either, which is a great movie in my mind. I mean, it's one of the best films of the last few years to me. Next to probably what is the one Arrival with Amy Adams, particularly in that whole genre of film of space and uh, sci-fi that goes beyond aliens and monsters, but it has a real heart to it and something really thoughtful about it. That's not the kind of movie that feminists like, that Hollywood reductionists like. They like Barbie. So if you're into movies like an Interstellar, Oppenheimer, if you're even into just a good old fashioned, true to the source material heroes romps like Mario, you're probably not going to like Barbie. But if you love intersectional feminist man shaming and smashing the patriarchy gynocentric films, Barbie is your movie. Otherwise, gosh, you should just stay away from it and just spend your money going and checking out Oppenheimer and seeing what's happening, or maybe you still want to get up on that new movie, Dead Reckoning, Mission Impossible 7. So that's my take on this. It went longer than I wanted. But even so, can you do me a favor if you stayed this long? Hit the like button, subscribe to the video. And with that, I'm out. Like me up. You're watching 2007. Peace.